Hey, what's up guys? In this video we are going to learn about the queue data structure. So the agenda of this tutorial is that first of all we will learn about the data structures, what are queues data structures. Then we will learn what is first in first out principle, the principle that is used in the queue data structure. The third step is going to be the practice session in which we will learn how can we add elements to the queues, how can we remove items from the queue, how to check if the queue is empty or not, and how to check the size of the queue. And in the last step we will learn how to print all the items that are present in the queue. So the first step is what are queue data structures. So you can learn understand this from the diagram and the explanation. So a queue is an ordered collection of items that follows the first in first out, also known as the first come first served principle. The addition of new elements in a queue is at the tail and the removal is from the front. The newest element added to the queue must wait at the end of the queue. The most popular example of a queue in real life is the typical line that we form from time to time. We have lines for movies, the cafeteria, and the checkout line at a grocery store among their examples. The first person that is in the line is the first one that will be attended to. You can also see in this diagram that the first in first out principle will be implemented in the queues. A very popular example in computer science is the printing line. Let's say we need to print 5 documents. We open each document and click on the print button. Each document will be sent to the print line. The first document that we asked to be printed is going to be the printed first, and so on until all the documents are printed. So this is basically the main idea of the queues. The first element that will be added in the queue will be the first one that will be removed from the queue. So this is the main idea of the queues. We can understand good when we write a code about the queues. How can we add elements to the queue? How can we remove elements from the queue? How to get the last element in the queue, or the first element that is present in the queue that will be removed first. And then we can also check the size of the queue. We will write all of these functions in this tutorial. So let's get started. So the first function that we will create will be the enqueue function. So what does the enqueue function do? It will add the elements at the front, and dequeue will remove the element from the first element that will be added. So this is the main function of both of these, enqueue and dequeue. So let's create our function. So first of all, what I will do, I will implement this. How can we add elements to the queue? So first of all, create a function with the name of queue, and then what I will do, I will create an array. We will use array data structure to represent this queue. So I will create an items array, and then what I will do, I will write some function. So let's create a function. This function name will be this dot enqueue, and let's write it. So what this function will do, we will return from this function that whatever element we will pass as an argument to this function, we will want to push this element into the array, or we can say to this tag. So the element that we are receiving here, we want to push that element into the queue. So for this, what I will do is I will push that element into the array. So I will use items dot push, and we will push this element into the array. Next step is going to check how we can remove the element from the in queue. So first of all, let's test this, if the elements are added in the queue or not. So I will console log it. I will use template literals, and I will check how to visualize it. So we can visualize in the terminal by running the code which elements are added in the queue. So I will write dollar curly braces, So the element that we are receiving from the parameter, so I will say element is added to the queue. Let's save it, and now what I will do is I will call this function here. So first of all, create an instance of this class which will be let queue is equal to new queue. So it will be this one, and then we can access these functions in the outside. So let's call this function. So I will call it by using queue.enqueue. Let's save it, and now run this code. I will open the terminal, and in the terminal we will run our file which will be index.js. Now you will see we are getting undefined is added to the queue. So let's see, because we haven't passed any element to the this function. So let's add 10, pass this as an argument to this function, and then you will see 10 is added to the queue. So you will see our function is working, and we can pass different elements from here. So let's pass another element. Let's add 20 and also 30. Now save it and run the code again. I will clear the terminal and then run it again. Now you will see, now we are getting the three lines in the console or the terminal which are saying 10 is added to the queue, 20 is added to the queue, and 30 is added to the queue, because we have called this function three times and we were passing three arguments, 10, 20 and 30. So in this way we can add elements to the queue or the items to the queue array or the queue data structure. The next step is going to be how can we remove elements from the queue. Now you will see a difference here. When we will remove elements from the queue, the first element that has been added, for example if 10 is added first, 10 will be removed first. It is directly opposite to the stack data structure in which the latest element added will be removed. However, in queues, the first element that we add will be removed from the queue. So let's create a different let's create a dequeue. So it will be dequeue. Then we have a function which will be stored in this variable. So let's write a curly braces, and in it we will want to return the remove element that we want to return. So as you see in the enqueue function, what we have do, we have used the push method. So this push method in JavaScript is basically add an element at the end of the array. However, what we want to do, we want to remove the first element. So to remove the first element, we use shift method in JavaScript. So let's remove the first element from the our queue data structure. So what I will do, I will return from this function that items. So it will be items dot shift. So from this array, shift method will do, it will remove the first element. So for example, the element that is present at the 0 index will be removed. So first of all, let's console log. So we can also check it when we will call it. So let's call it here. Let's console log, and let's call this function which will be queue.dequeue. And you can, if you will run the code, it will give you the index of the element that has been removed from the array. So clear the terminal, run the code again. Now we are getting error. Let's see what is the error here. So it is saying item is undefined. Item is not defined because we have named our array as items. So we have missed a s here. Let's save it. Clear the terminal. So clear the terminal, run the code again. Now you will see 10 is added to the queue, the three elements that we have been added to the queue, and now you will see the element that has been removed. So console.log, we have removed a dequeue, or we have run dequeue function which will remove the element that has been added first. So the 10 is added first, 10 is removed here. So let's run it again. Let's save it, clear the terminal, run the code again. Now you will see the items that has been removed are in a sequence. First, they are following the first in first out principle. So I think you have understood this concept of first in first out principle, and also the NQ and DQ functions, what they do in queued data structure. So the next agenda is what we want to do here. We are completed with the first four steps, and now the next thing is we want to check if the queue is empty or not. So for this, let's create a new function under the DQ. So let's create a new function here. So the name of this function will be isEmpty. This dot is empty because we want to check if the queue is empty or not. So let's write a function, and in this function this function will be very simple one because we just want to check if this queue is empty or not. So what we will return is we will return a true or false. So if the queue will be empty, we will return a true, otherwise we will return false. So for this we have an array. So what we will check if the array or the items dot length is equal to 0, then we want to return it. So it will return a true if the queue will be empty, and false if the queue is not empty. So let's run this. So let's call this function here, which will be queue dot is empty. Now you see at this position we have no elements in the queue, and so here we will get an empty queue, but at the bottom we will get the queue is not empty, which will be false. So let's go to our terminal, clear it, and run the code again. Now so we have to save it again, clear the terminal, run the code again. Now we are not getting this. Let's see what is happening here, because we want to console log it. Let's remove it from here, use a console dot log, paste it here. Let's save it, run the code again. Now you will see this function is returning a true because the queue is empty at this point. But if I will use this function here, for example at this position where we have added three elements in the queue, you will get it will return false because at this position queue is not empty. So let's clear the terminal, run the code again. Now you will see, so we have to save it. So now you will see we are returning false at this position because the three elements have been added in the queue. Now we are done with the isEmpty function. How we can check if the queue is empty or not. Now the next step is going to be the check the size of the queue. So we will create a function which will check what is the size of the queue. So for this we will create a new function. Oops. So let's create a new function with the name of size, and let's see. So what we want to return from this function is the length of our array or the length of our queue, which will be very simple one. So we have an array with the name of items, and we will just return the length of our queue. So if there are different numbers in the queue, it will return the count of the queue. For example, if there are 5 elements, it will return 5, and similarly. So let's test this function. Now what I will do is I will call it here under the queue.enqueue, and let's call this function which will be, oops, so it will be queue.size. We will check the size. Let's console log what it will return. So console log it, so it will be console.log, paste it here. Oops. So it will be q dot size. Let's save it, and now we want to check what it will return. So run the code, and here you will see at this position the size of the queue is 3. You can clearly see under the 30 we are running this function which is queue dot size, and this function is returning 3 because there are 3 elements in the queue. So I hope you have understood this concept of how we can check the size of the queue. So let's see a different step what we want to do now. We have checked how to see the size of the queue. Now the last step of this tutorial is that we want to print all of the elements that are present in the queue. So for this, let's also create a new function. So this function is going to be the check, or it will print all of the elements that will be present in the queue. So I will create a function. So what I want to return from this function is so we will console log all of the elements because we want to see in the terminal. So instead of returning, I'll just console log it. So let's console dot log. I will use template literals, so not a template literals because we want to print it all of the elements. So the elements that are present in the queue are 10, 20 and 30. So there will be different ways to print. You can also use different array methods, for example map, or some may be different ones you can use for loops. But what I can do is I will use the array and convert it them to string, and let's save it. Now you can see the result in the terminal. So let's call this function. So it will be nq dot print. Let's call it here, let's save it, and now we will check how many elements will be printed. We will test this function. Clear the terminal, run the code again. Now you will see we are getting the error which will be nq.print. Let's check what will be the error here. So it will not be nq, it will be q.print. Let's save it. We have done a mistake here. So let's clear the terminal, run the code again. Now you will see the elements 10, 20 and 30 has been printed because these are the elements that are present in the queue. So let's see if we will add some more element. For example, let's see it will be 40, 50 and 60. Now if when I will run the code, you will see all of the elements in the terminal. Now clear the terminal, run the code again. Now you will see 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. All of the elements have been printed in the terminal. So our function is working properly. So these are the main concepts that queue has. How can we add elements? By using the first in first out principle. We have used push method in JavaScript. If you are from another language, there will be different method from different languages, but the main concept is same, that is the first in first out principle. So what we have done is we have understand how queue works, what are the main concepts of the queue, how can we add elements in the queue by using the first in first out principle, how can we remove the first element that have been added from the queue by using the dequeue function. Then we have checked the empty queue, or if the array or the queue is empty or not. Then we have checked the size of the queue, how many elements are present in the queue, and in the last step we have printed all of the elements that are present in the queue. So I hope you have learned something from this video. I have created a complete playlist for data structure and algorithm. So all of these videos about data structure and algorithm will be in that playlist. You can explore it on my YouTube channel. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to this channel. Also tell me in the comments what kind of videos you want in the future about the data structures and algorithms, and what kind of problems or the practice problems should I perform for you in these videos. So this is the end of the tutorial. So have a nice day.